Good evening, everyone, and welcome to my first of my Day Zero builds for the Yu Yu Hakusho Dark Tournament Universus characters. What these are going to be are kind of my first impressions of the characters, so these aren't really, I wouldn't say thought out, but these aren't like completely honed strategies that I would maybe take to like a regional. More, this is kind of my first take on the character, first blush, first impressions that I might sleeve up and take to locals to then test out and see what works and what doesn't. I'm going to be doing these for every character in the Yu Yu Hakusho Dark Tournament set. I thought it'd be a fun exercise, and I've actually been having a lot of fun designing these, because I'm trying not to put too much deep thought into them, but maybe just like, okay, this is what this character wants to do. First impression, what symbol do I want to do? First impressions, what's my attack lineup? And as a deck building exercise, it's really fun. I'm having a great time. As well as you'll see, my thumbnails are evolving because I'm working on that too. So all in all, this has been a great project, and I'm really excited to share with you guys what I've come up with for my first impressions for these cards and these characters. So without further ado, let's get into Bui. He is our first. I am going in the listed set order, alphabetical order, however you want to call it. It's just easier. So first off is Bui, our 5 hand size, 36 health character. He is from Team Toguro. He has Death, Earth, and Water. This is going to be a Earth symbol build. And he has Enhance, once per turn, your turn. Destroy one ready face-up foundation. Build the top 2 cards of your deck face down. So you lose 1 resource to gain 2. Pretty solid. And then Form, Commit. Your next attack this turn gets plus X speed and plus X damage. X equals your amount of face-down foundations. So my first impression of this character is he wants to build a lot and throw 1 huge attack per turn. So I chose an Earth symbol because Earth has a lot of foundations that flip themselves, and a lot of foundations that you wouldn't necessarily mind losing if you had to build with Bui. And let's get into my attack lineup and see what I wanted to do here. It has been a couple days since I built him, so this is going to be as fun for me as it is for you. First up, we have 4 Battle Aura Release, his ultra rare attack, a 4 difficulty, 4 high for 4 with a 3 mid control, a 2 mid block. It's got charge and ranged, and it says Enhance, flip 1 foundation, draw 1 card. Cool, we love drawing cards, especially as a 5 hand size character. And then Enhance, this attack gets plus X damage, X equals the number of face down foundations in your stage, maximum 4. So this can be a 4 high for 8 that draws you a card. Really solid. Just looking here, it looks like... Oh, never mind. I know what I'm doing here. Next up, we have 2 Risho's Meteor. This is a rare back page card. It is a 4 difficulty, 2 control, 4 high for 5 with a plus 2 low block. It's got charge and slam. It says Enhance, flip 1 rival foundation. Your next check to play their next check to play a card gets minus X. X equals the difficulty of the flipped foundation. So you can flip one of their 2 difficulty foundations. Their check to block Risho's Meteor or any other block this turn, if they don't block Risho's Meteor, gets minus X. Sorry, you can see I've got a cat trying to be nosy. So really solid for pushing those attacks through, especially if they don't want to deal with, like, say, a 5 damage attack, and then you turn your character sideways and throw a huge attack at them. Their check to block that attack then gets minus 2. So really cool, kind of forcing your opponent to pick and choose what they want to block, what they want to take. And then Enhance, if this attack is not blocked, your rival flips 2 foundations. So you could flip up to 3 of their defensive pieces, or whatever, and it's got a nice 2 low block on it. Then we have Zero Gravity Rush. This is from the Ochako 4 starter deck. It is a 6 difficulty, 3 control. It's a 0 high for 4 with a plus 3 mid block. It's got the charge keyword. It says Enhance, change this attack's speed to match its damage. We do have a lot of ways to boost our damage here, but imagine using Bui to make this get plus 6. So it's a 6 high 10. Well, now it's a 10 high 10 with this card. This is a really good carrier of that plus X. if you didn't have other things like, say, Enormous Axe to boost more damage onto it on its own. And then Enhance, if you have 3 or more face-down foundations, draw 2 cards. I was just saying with Battle Aura Release, we like to draw cards, especially as a 5-hand size character, and the fact that this can carry a lot of damage into a lot of speed is really, really solid. Next up, Titan Cliff. A 6 difficulty, 3 control, 5 high for 6 with a +2 low block. It's got Fury and Slam. It's also got Powerful, but only if we're Mount Lady. It says Enhance, discard up to 3 cards, and draw 1 card for each card discarded. The discarded cards are considered to have been reviewed. So, again, we are trying to draw as many cards as we can to try to find our attacks. I know we are running a couple of 6 diffs here, but that's mainly because we can, and we do have this 2 check here, which is kind of dangerous to run with these 6 diffs, but Bui is going to be destroying a ready foundation to build 2 foundations, and some of his foundations can also build us other foundations. So we are trying to build out our stuff as much as possible, so we're not as afraid to play these 6 diffs. And being able to discard, say, 3 foundations and then draw maybe 1 or 2 attacks is always going to help us as a 5-hand character. And then Enhance, you may build 1 card with a check of value of 6 from your hand or discard pile. So this is solid. It nets us another ready foundation, and we are running, as a spoiler, number 10 Pro Hero. It's a blank 6 control foundation, so we can build this in, blow it up with Bui, build 2 ready foundations at the cost of Titan's Cliff that built that in for free. So really, really fun. And if you've noticed, all of these attacks share something in common. They are high attacks, because this is a Falling Skies build. I think Falling Skies is probably one of the best cards to be able to throw that +X for Bui on. It is a 4 difficulty, 3 control, 3 high for 5 with a +1 low block with the charge keyword. It says, first Enhance, this attack gains throw. No more attacks may be played this turn. That's fine. This is usually going to go in as our finisher. And Enhance, this attack gets 1 speed and 1 damage for each printed high attack in our card pool. As we are trying to draw more attacks with Battle Aura Release, Zero Gravity Rush, Titan Cliff, we're trying to draw into a Falling Skies that we can then end a string with by turning Bui sideways and getting +6, +7 speed and damage on this, then give it 1 speed and 1 damage for each high attack in our card pool, and give it throw to make sure that this kills pretty much anyone from anywhere. Solid, solid bomb. And one issue I ran into as I was building my attack lineup is, well, what if some of these cool attacks get built thanks to Bui? Well, that's when we have Reconstructed Wrecker. A 5 difficulty, 3 control, 4 high for 5 with a +2 low block. This is one of Overhaul's attacks. It is a Fury, Punch, and Slam. It's got a static that says, while this card is in your card pool, your rival must flip 1 foundation as an additional cost to play keyword abilities. So if you block with it, they have to commit flip foundations to play Stun, Powerful, EX, Echo, and if you play it as an attack, they have to flip foundations as an additional cost to play cards like Breaker. So that's cool. But as Enhance, it says, discard 1 card, you may play 1 face-down card from your stage, face-up as your next form. So if we've built a Falling Skies or a Battle Aura Release, or, as you'll see our last card, Electromagnetic Bullets, we're allowed to play that by discarding maybe a foundation from our hand and play one of our face-down foundations up. Now this does cut a little bit into our foundation stock with Bui, but if we really need that extra attack, that extra damage pushed through, it can really help us. And then lastly, we have Electromagnetic Bullets. This is a 4 difficulty, 3 control, +2 high block, 3 high for 6. It's a flash, as well as a charge and a ranged. So flash attacks do not have an enhanced step. You go play this attack. If it's successfully played, you have your response windows for when an attack is played or when a card is played. Move straight to block. And it says, after you play this attack, flip 1 foundation. So we want face-down foundations anyway, and this also just wears that +X from Bui really, really well, because it's a lot of speed and a lot of damage on an attack your opponent really can't handle. They can't really deal with this card because they don't have any enhances to reduce speed or damage. It just goes straight into block, and this is probably going to hit. Moving on to non-attacks, I decided to add Dark Tournament Looms. This is an action. It's a 1 difficulty, 5 control with a +2 mid-block. It's got the Earth symbol. Everything, obviously, has the Earth symbol. It says Enhance, Remove, add 1 card from your momentum to your hand, draw 1 card. So it's 1 card that becomes 2 cards in our 5-hand size character. Really, really good. We can pick up a Falling Skies that we had turned into a throw and went to our momentum. We could pick up an Electromagnetic Bullets. We could pick up a Battle Aura release. We could pick up a Risho's Meteor to get once more that floating -2 to the check the next time they try to play a card. Plus, it lets us draw another card, and it removes itself so we don't have to worry about progressive difficulty. Really, really good bit of a flow card there. As for our foundations, we have Enormous Axe, a 3 difficulty, 5 control with a +1 mid-block, and the weapon keyword. It has the static, after this foundation is destroyed, build the top card of your deck face down. So if you blow this foundation up with Bui, you get 3 foundations instead of 2. Always good to net positive. And it has Enhance Commit. If this attack gets +X damage, X equals the number of face down foundations in your stage, maximum 4. So you can commit it for +4 damage. That's fine, I guess. That's something that you can float onto maybe a Falling Skies or a Risho's Meteor or a Zero Gravity Rush to make it more threatening. And we do have some other ways in our foundations to destroy our foundations so that you can get this net +1 even if this card is committed. So you wouldn't have to use Bui. You can commit this, get the damage, blow it up with something else, and still get that ready resource. One way to do that is, well, no, not Weapons Clash, but we do have Weapons Clash next. I thought this was a different card. Excuse me. It is a 2 difficulty, 5 control with a +3 high block. It says, Enhance, destroy 1 face down foundation. This attack gets -2 damage to a minimum of 1. Because sometimes we need ways to get out of deadlock, if we need, and -2 damage so that we don't have to block with our already limited resources is pretty good. Excuse you. I'm trying to record here. Sorry. The price you pay when you live with cats. And then it also says Enhance, Flip, build the top card of your deck face down committed. So you can flip this during your opponent's turn to get an extra resource on your turn, or if you have 2 of these, you can flip 1 to build a committed resource so you're not destroying a ready resource for this Enhance, or for other things that we'll see later on down the line. Next up, we have Fearsome Transformations, a 1 difficulty, 5 control with a +3 high block. It says Enhance, Flip, draw 1 card. If you have no momentum, discard 1 card. So at worst, it's card filtering. At best, it's card draw. We like our net positives. And on a flip cost, when we already want face down foundations, that's pretty good. Then we've got Togoro's Dominance, our 2 difficulty, 5 control, +2 mid-block. It's got Ally and Unique. It says Response, destroy, so you destroy Dominance. After your rival plays an ability on an asset or foundation, destroy it. That's pretty good. And then Team Togoro Enhance, which we are Team Togoro. Flip, your rival discards 1 momentum. So if we need that momentum hate, it's there. And with some of the characters that are kind of stockpiling momentum, you really want to make sure you can get a handle on that. Or if your opponent's got a very abusable foundation, you can just destroy it with Dominance. Next up we have Flustered, a 1 difficulty, 4 control with a +2 mid-block. It says Enhance, Flip, if there is a charge attack in your card pool, discard 1 rival momentum, so you get to choose. So if your rival's playing with all these face-up momentum things like their Kuro or Amajiki, you get to select which card goes away, or you get to draw a card. So you're either hampering your opponent's strategy, or you get to draw more cards, and most, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of our 7 attacks have the charge keyword. So it's really easy to get this going. Next up we have Quick Response. I really like this card a lot, especially considering we're a mono high deck. It's a 2 difficulty, 5 control with a +3 low block. It says Enhance, destroy 1 foundation. This high attack gets +2 speed. So we're already putting a lot of damage on things with Bui and with some of our foundations, and some of the attacks can gain a lot of damage themselves. So getting a little bit more speed and kind of keeping us out of deadlock is really good. And then it's another way to destroy Enormous Axe if it's ready, or if it's face up but committed. We can destroy it with quick response to then build another foundation ready and get the 2 speed. And you can even do it with Enormous Axe to give it 2 speeds, 4 damage, and really just throw a bomb at your opponent that they're really going to have to deal with. And then it has Deadlock Enhance. Change the zone of your attack. It gets +1 speed for free. You don't have to commit or destroy anything for that. So all these younger Toguro decks that are going to be pushing themselves into deadlock, you're going to get all your stuff a lot You're going to make your stuff all a lot faster. Then we have Reaching Out. It says it's a 2 difficulty, 5 control with a +1 high block. It says Enhance, commit, your attack gets +1 speed and +1 damage. Your next charge attack gets -1 difficulty. So we don't have to worry about committing so many resources to play our strings of attacks. Plus we're giving speed and damage to our all of our attacks because they're all high, except Electromagnetic Bullets, which doesn't get an Enhance step. Then I've added the new number 1, a 3 difficulty, 5 control with a +2 high block and the unique keyword. It has a static that says it cannot be sealed, and as an enhance, it can commit itself to return this attack to its printed speed. That attack gets +1 or -1 speed. So if our rival has reduced our speed really significantly, we can set it back to printed and give it +1. If they've boosted their speed significantly, we can reduce it to printed and then give it -1 speed. I know barrier shields running around rampant lately. So your opponent barrier shields you, drops your speed to 0. You can set your speed back to printed and give it 1 speed and make it harder for them to hit you with that breaker too. It also has a pro hero enhance, but we're obviously not a pro hero, so we don't need to worry about that. Next up is Ultra Regeneration, a 4 difficulty, 6 control with a +2 low block. It says Response, Tenacious, Flip. After you take 5 or more damage from an attack, draw 2 cards and gain 2 health. We like card draw as our 5-hander, and sometimes as a 5-hander, the best way to block is face first. So you can flip this to draw 2 extra cards and gain 2 health to kind of mitigate some of that damage, but also sometimes you just got to take it to the chin. And then Enhance, Tenacious, Remove. If you have no ready foundations, add 1 card from your discard pile to your hand. You're always going to be using this for the response. I have never seen anyone play this for the Enhance. I can't imagine why that would be useful, but I'm sure there's a way somewhere, maybe in Evil or Void, to pick up a barrier shield or something like that. I don't know. But this is also one of 2, along with number 10 Pro Hero, that we can build in with Titan Cliff. So it gets us an extra foundation, a little bit of defense, or a little bit of spam that we can blow up to build more with Bui. Speaking of, we have number 10 Pro Hero, 0 difficulty, 6 control, +1 high block, no effects. Moving on. Then we've got Vast Strength. This is a 2 difficulty, 4 control with a +3 mid block. It says Response, Remove. After an attack is played, it loses all non-keyword abilities. So this is good for killing any attacks that have really powerful enhances that are not keyword abilities, or any sort of statics that might be on them, or responses that might be on them. Something like Zeru's Flames, which has a response that says, after you play an enhance, your opponent commits a foundation. This can say, no, you don't get to do that to me. You don't get to tap my entire board by pushing all your buttons. It can really come in handy to cancel a lot of dangerous abilities. It also has a Ryukyu form. We aren't Ryukyu, so we're not going to worry about that. Next up, we have Defending Pageant Queen, a 2 difficulty, 5 control with a +3 high block. It says Enhance, Remove, reduce this attack speed to 1. Because sometimes you just gotta block, and we can't play Barrier Shield on any of our symbols. So we might as well drop it to 1, next best thing. Then we have Incredible Display, a card that I have quickly grown fond of, as I've just kind of tossed it in as a random one-of in some of my Challenger Series decks, and it's put in a lot of defensive work. It's a 2 difficulty, 5 control with a +3 mid block. It says Response, Commit, discard 1 momentum. After your rival plays a non-character response ability, cancel it. So as long as the response isn't on their character, it could be on an action, an asset, a foundation, an attack. Cancel it by discarding a momentum and committing this card. It also says response commit after you block with a foundation, add it to your hand. So you get to block 2 for the price of 1. Hopefully. Always if it's a mid, as long as you have foundations to pass. But as a fun little one-of, really solid, and it actually really puts in the work more often than not. Next up we have Converting Captured Pieces, a 2 difficulty, 5 control with a +2 high block. It says enhance commit, this attack gets +1 damage for each of your face down foundations, maximum 3. It's not quite enormous axe, but it'll do. And then enhance, once per turn, discard 1 momentum. If you have more face down foundations than your rival, draw 1 card. So you can discard a momentum to draw a card, then turn it sideways for +3 damage, or blow it up for 2 more foundations if you're Bui. Pretty good. It has a lot of roles it can fill. Next up we have Cooperation Offer, a 2 difficulty, 5 control with a +3 mid block. It says enhance, flip, return this attack to its printed zone. This attack gets -3 speed. So since the flip is the cost, and the return and the attack, the return to the printed zone and the -3 speed are separate in abilities, separate results, you don't have to return the zone to get the -3 speed. So usually this is just flip for -3 speed. Still really good. And then it says enhance, commit. If this attack was played from anywhere other than your hand, it gets +2 damage. We're only going to be able to use that with the with Reconstructed Wrecker's ability to play something from our stage, but it's mainly here for the -3 speed, the defensive ability. And if we don't need that, we might just blow it up with Bui. Then we've got Chivalrous Competitor, a 1 difficulty, 5 control with a +3 low block. It says enhance, flip, both players draw a card. 5-handers like drawing cards. And then response, before one of your foundations would be destroyed or flipped due to your rival's non-character effect, flip this foundation instead. So if your opponent's trying to blow up some of your key pieces, you can flip this to protect it. Or if they have some targeted flip to try to flip some of your key pieces, you can flip this card instead. But mostly it's going to be there for the draw. Then we have Internship with Best Genist, another card that I've quickly grown to love. A 0 difficulty, 5 control with a +3 mid block. It has an Earth response. We are Earth, so we can use this response. It says discard the top card of your deck. After you play this card, your rival flips 1 foundation. So whether we're playing this as a foundation like a spam or as a block, as long as we discard the top card of our deck when we play it, our rival is forced to flip a foundation. So it could be a sneaky little snipe to force them to make some maneuvering positions with their resources. And then after that it's useless, so we can just blow it up for Bui to build 2 foundations. And then we have Learning the Standards, because as a 5-hander, sometimes we block with our face. This is a 2 difficulty, 5 control with a +3 mid block. This says response, flip, after your rival builds an asset or foundation during the combat phase, flip it. So if your opponent's trying to build something in, like a key piece they need, you can flip it. Or response remove, after you take damage from an unblocked attack, your rival must play a non-attack card as their next form, or end their combat phase. So like I said, sometimes as a 5-hander, we're blocking with our face, but this makes our opponent have to then interrupt their string and deal with more progressive difficulty so that we can live to fight another day. All in all, it is a 68 card build. As I know we don't come down here too often, but as you can see, I've got the block zones pretty even. Obviously, we're usually going to hang towards the mid, but for a first run, I think it's pretty fine, especially on the Earth symbol. I feel it's pretty simple, pretty, I wouldn't say thoughtless. I mean, obviously we're a Falling Skies deck, so we want to draw into a Falling Skies at the end of a string and just unga bunga for a billion damage. But I think almost any of these, actually, as long as we've got 5 or 6 face-down foundations, any of these cards would really enjoy seeing the damage and speed boost from Bui. You know, just imagine putting 5 damage and speed on any of these, making, 9 high 9, 9 high 10, inevitably a 9 high 9. 10 high 11, and 8 high 10 that then gets more damage and speed. 9 high 10, which can then throw another attack and your opponent doesn't know what's coming. Or a 8 high 11 that they just can't deal with because it goes straight to block step. So I think Bui is probably one of the more simple characters, but definitely not someone you can underestimate. This guy is going to hurt you. And unless you have some serious reset powers, like Barrier Shield or returning this attack's damage to printed, there's not going to be a whole heck of a lot you're going to be able to do about it. With that said, this has been Bui as my day 0 build. What do you guys think? Are you guys going to give Bui a shot and sling some double-digit damage at your opponent? How high do you think you're going to be able to get your Falling Skies or whatever big damage dealer you're going to be putting onto this? Let me know in the comments. And while you're there, if you enjoy deck building content for Universus, feel free to like the video, subscribe if you haven't. I'm always looking for new people to chat with and get new information on what people want me to build or what they're going to be doing, and really just share a lot of deck building tips. Also, my name is Cameron. I don't think I've ever introduced myself before, but I do have 2 YouTube channels, a main one that I listen to stuff on, and then this one. So, depending on which device I'm on, I may respond to your comments as Cameron or as UVS Hermit. Just know that we are one and the same. So, if you're thinking that maybe I'm not talking to you and just ignoring you when someone else is talking to you, it's likely me. So just to wave away any of that confusion. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, do all the things for the YouTube algorithm, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys.